Well, hello everybody, Jennifer Pascua here, and it's been a while since I popped into your news feeds with a Facebook Live. Of course, during the pandemic, I would feature some women-owned businesses. I'd spotlight some nonprofits and all the good they're doing in our community, and I even hosted a couple of hollow fun happy hours. And today we are definitely going to mix it up a little bit. We are going to talk about a book launch, and one of my good friends has taken the time over the pandemic to write a book that may intrigue many of you. And to the screen, I'm going to bring Dr. Megan Stubbs to the screen. Hey there, Megan, how are you?
Hey, Jen, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm really excited to talk about all the good that you've been doing in terms of what, the pandemic life has brought about many different topics. And one topic in particular is a little bit of the intimacy, right?
Yes.
You wrote a book. Tell me about this.
I wrote a book.
That's so great.
Thanks. My book is called Playing Without a Partner. So it's for people who are living the single life.
Yeah, my goodness. Okay, so this came out of the pandemic world that you were living in. You thought, hey, why not write a book? Tell me about what really prompted you to go ahead and start writing particularly about this topic.
You know, this was actually born a little bit pre-pandemic. I was connected with a publisher from a dear friend, Jess O'Reilly, and I was like, hey, I'm an aspiring author. Do you have any topics you want to have covered? And they were like, we're thinking about like a single sexuality book. And I was like, what? Tell me more, because that's my life. I'm super single. And so I was like, how fun would it be to combine both my personal and professional life into this cohesive platform? And that's how it became a book.
Yeah.
Bulk of the writing was done during the pandemic, though, which I don't recommend writing a book during a pandemic.
Well, here's the thing, though, Megan. I feel like, I don't know, call me crazy because I haven't been in that single life for some time now, but this book probably came in handy because we had to all quarantine away from each other, right?
Yeah, and so I think it was really confronting because you were by yourself if you didn't have a partner. So this book kind of taps in on how to make the best of the time you have when you're alone.
Okay, so I want to dive into this book and talk about some of the chapter highlights because I'm still reading through it. And, there were parts where I was like, oh my gosh, these are things that I talk about with my girlfriends.
Yeah, I mean, I want this to be like, I want to be your friend. Like, I hope this is like me embodied in a book. And I hope this just uplifts people to know that like they are worthy right now as they are to, get passion. And they don't have to be seeking it out in a partner. So how do we bring about that passion, that satisfaction to ourselves?
Yeah. Okay. So I want you to tell me, I don't want you to give it away because, obviously we want people to get their hands on this book and kind of digest it themselves. But what was your favorite chapter to write about?
I think including all of my like sexual and dating mishaps, like
Oh, no.
that was a chance where I could just be like, okay, all those cringe moments I was telling my girlfriends about, and I was like, oh, it'll be a good chapter in the book. Now it literally is in the book, and I'm just like, I can't believe I told that story. But I hope that like humanizes me because I'm a sex professional, but like I still have bad dates, I still have bad sex, and so to normalize the experience and no L's, only lessons. And so to take that and just help people realize like, listen, bad sex happen, bad dates happen, but you can move on from that and like make it a learning experience.
So was there a part of the book that you knew right off the bat as you were writing it, people would be a little uncomfortable talking about?
I think I gotta always put myself in the mindset of like a civilian because I'm always like, oh, we can talk about anything. But I bring up, pegging in a group and they're like, what? What are we talking about here? So I think talking about the use of sex toys on yourself, discussing alternative relationships outside of monogamy can always make people feel kind of like uncomfortable or like, ooh, let's learn more about that. So I just want to make sure I cover the broad strokes about all the iterations of sexuality and relationships to make people see like, oh, there's different ways to have a relationship. That's cool.
During this pandemic, have you had conversations with people specifically about what you're wanting to write about or maybe what you held back on because maybe people aren't quite ready to read that type of content?
You know, it was really challenging on what to know that I have to put in here. And I was like, is this even on topic anymore? Because I'm writing so much in this book. Because I've never taken on a writing task as big as this. I don't know that I've left anything out. I feel like this covers all the bases of singledom, whether you are single by choice or this is just something you're gonna, pursue right now because you don't want to date anybody, or you're like newly divorced and you're like, I have no idea where to begin as a single person, what my new normal will look like. I hope that we touch on all those different life avenues and people can get some value from this.
You made a good point, and I was just going to ask you, do you have an age range that you would recommend this book for?
Adults. And even if you're partnered, I think there's a lot of great takeaways, especially with like self-esteem and body image that partnered or single people can really benefit from.
Yeah, and in looking over the book, because again, just in the first few chapters, I was scanning ahead, and what I really appreciate about this, Megan, is that you do kind of section it out where it's an easy read, and it's really conversation starters too.
Yeah, I mean, you can totally jump around. I mean, it is written with the chronological kind of like flow, but you can definitely jump around because maybe let's just say you are out in the dating world now and you want to know how to have those like awkward conversations with strangers. You can jump to meeting strangers in the wild chapter and learn about, how do we discuss our boundaries, our likes and dislikes, talk about our statuses. So you can definitely jump around in the book.
What's nice is you're bringing, like you said, a little of your personal experience and also your professional. You've been doing this for quite some time, talking to various colleges, universities, and group settings, talking about things that, for some, it's still an uncomfortable topic to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, I'm out here just trying to normalize the conversation around sex. So I love speaking on college campuses where I can help be the like beacon of like permission for these students to explore what they want to explore. I'm not out there just saying like everyone should be having sex. I just like to give information and give permission, and then people can make informed decisions on their own. In another lifetime, I mean, this seems like so long ago, I teach sexual classes for the swinger community. So that's a completely different style than what I do on college campuses. But I like teaching the whole gamut of foundational work to let's explore threesomes.
I think that in this day and age of our society, people are more open to pick up a book like this, right? And why not even offer it as a book, right? To somebody that, may be interested and may have confided in you, they're interested in learning more about their sexuality.
Yeah, I mean, for me, when I was growing up, the internet wasn't like as hot as it is now. And books were my gateway into this like field. And so I think books are still a really great way to get valuable information. It's not confronting this title, this cover doesn't look scandalous or anything. It's got lashes. People love lashes. And it's just chock full of information. So yeah, definitely pick up a book on sexuality and just learn.
Okay, so we're talking about picking up a book. And so how can people get their hands on your book?
My book is available wherever books are sold. So it's on Amazon, Barnes and Noble, Books A Million. It's everywhere. So it should be super easy for you to get access to.
All right, Megan, thank you so much for chatting about your book with us. When does it launch?
It launches May 11th.
May 11th. So make sure you get your hands on this. And we've been scrolling a lot of your contact information. If you want to go through right now, people can contact you on Instagram, right?
Yep, you can reach me at Sexologist Megan on Instagram. I'm also at Sexologist Megan on Twitter too.
All right. And here's your website for those who want to log on and maybe even book an appearance that you'd love to be able to share a little more content, a little one-on-one time as things are beginning to get somewhat back to normal, right?
Yeah, I'd love to be on your college campus, speak for your group. Let me know. Reach out, say hey.
All right, Megan, congratulations on your new book. And again, you can pick it up all on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, anywhere you can get books. Thanks, Megan.
Thanks, Jen.